Here we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the German Terran player representing Team Mouse. He just eliminated Lambo 2-0. It is HeRoMaRinE. I would say now the favorites in this portion of the brackets. I would have said that Skillus would have been the other contender to take down Big Gabe, but Skillus is already knocked out as well. So I'm sure HeRoMaRinE, he's very happy with that. I'm sure he's like, Spats, I love you so much. If I had Asher here, I'd have him do his best Big Gabe accent. He loves it. It's beautiful. It's pretty good. So yeah, I'm sure Big Gabe is smiling right now. He's very happy with what Spats has been able to do for him. Of course, we'll still have to face off against him in the next round, and that's going to be no easy feat. But in general, Skillus is considered to be one of the best Protoss in Europe. It's Max Pack, Showtime, and Skillus is top 3. So for him to be knocked out as well, is I'm sure a weight off of HeRoMaRinE's shoulders. As we are getting into the next round. So far, double gas opener from HeRoMaRinE, so he's going to be a little bit more aggressive. He's going to go for a faster factory. Bit of a later natural instead. As Gerald is going to be able to confirm this. He goes in with his probe, confirms the factory, confirms the gases. And now he's aware to be a little bit more wary back at home. As HeRoMaRinE is looking for that probe, it's very common to hide the probe behind the mineral line here at the natural. As HeRoMaRinE, he's looking even behind the third base mineral line as well. And he finds it. He's gonna he was about to double check. And he will come across the probe. A little bit brutal there from Gerald. Will lose that probe before getting the secondary scout off. Very well done by HeRoMaRinE. As across the map, Geralt is going for a Stargate opener. Makes a lot of sense on a map like Ancient Cistern, a very large map, very big map. Does lend towards more macro play, and Phoenix Colossus makes plenty of sense on a map like this. Plenty of sense. As the first adept does make it across the map, is again just getting an eye on the natural base, on whether or not there is a natural or there's a one base all in. With the completion of this shade, he sees the CC being built, so he's fully aware of HeRoMaRinE's economy, or the fact that again he is transitioning out of this. He sees a Hellion as well, and he sees the second Hellion as well as the Reapers as they move out. So a very aggressive opener by HeRoMaRinE. With the abundance of Reapers and Hellions, he's going to be diving into mineral lines and killing units. There's no Oracle to defend back at home. We have a Phoenix on the way. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Again, the goal here typically is to just avoid the units on the ground and go into a mineral line. Oh, this is really cute. Reapers going to the main. The Hellions can support from the ground, but no, they do back off. So far, Geralt keeping up here with the movements of HeRoMaRinE and does swat him away. Reaper dives into the main, confirms the Stargate and the Phoenixes. A good scout by Gabe. It is a little bit easier saying Gabe than HeRoMaRinE, not gonna lie. HeRoMaRinE is just a long name. It's a long name to say. I may just start saying Gabe. I don't cast him too often. Alright. Phoenixes are on the way. Behind this, we have our 1-1-1 setup. You know, we're making Cyclones and Vikings. Again, the goal here is just make sure that the Phoenixes don't get out of hand, that they don't just wreak havoc in the mineral lines. Do we have a Widow Mine? We do. Oh, it is set up here outside of the natural. We'll see if he gets lucky. We'll see if a stray shot goes off and catches one of the Phoenixes. Widow Mines do one-shot Oracles. They two-shot Phoenixes, so won't kill them, but we'll soften them up. You see HeRoMaRinE just setting up back at home, just getting his natural base up and running, fully saturated. Gets eyes on the Phoenixes at least. Actually getting into position, trying to zone him away. He's gonna get a lock on as well, and oh my god, gets a lot of damage on that first Phoenix. Again, HeRoMaRinE, he doesn't really intend to push out with this. He's just sharking around, looking for those Phoenixes, looking for any good pickoffs. Behind this, Gerald is now going for the Robotics Bay. Going to be working towards those Colossi. First Immortal is already out. Oh, HeRoMaRinE is here in time to delay the third base. I don't know if he will be able to do so, but that's a lot of Marines. He is in position. Yeah, it does force a cancel on the third. Oh my god, this is just getting too much damage already at this point. And he's even threatening to push on forward as well. Yeah, with the added DPS of the second Cyclone, he can. He's gonna have to respect these Immortals, definitely. He has to be careful. Cyclones do get some lock-ons off. Doing a lot of DPS here to these Immortals, does force an overcharge. Oh my god. The amount of value that these Cyclones have gotten is insane. So much DPS on those Immortals. Overcharge has run out. We get another lock-on as well. This time on some Phoenixes. Ooh. He will take them down. The shield batteries are depowered. This is snowballing out of control. Widowmines are going to be going off. The tank siege is up, and the Colossi, I don't know if it's even going to come out. The Colossus will secure Geralt at least a natural. Behind us, we have a third base. Getting ready to go here for HeRoMaRinE. Here we go. The Colossus has arrived. We can dive on forward. Oh, god. We don't really have too much to protect the Immortal, but... Sorry, to protect the Colossus. And we do break this position, but... that costs a lot here for Geralt. We can see it cost him every single Phoenix. 3 Phoenixes went down. 6 Adepts for the cost of a tank and a Cyclone. On top of that, Geralt was stuck on 2 bases. HeRoMaRinE, he's up a base. Orbital is about to be taken. It's terrifying to see a Terran player up a base compared to a Protoss. It's something that typically does not happen. It should be the reverse. So Geralt, he's just falling a little bit further behind. With the death of all those Phoenixes, that means he won't be able to stop the drop play. Let alone Banshees, as Cloak Banshees are diving in. Do we have any detection? The answer is we do not. We can one-shot probes, and a lot of probes are going to go down. Ay, ay, ay. This is getting out of control. It's getting out of hand. By the time the Observer comes out, what are we going to have left? Ay, ay, ay. I mean, Geralt can't do anything. He just has to wait. 22 probes go down. The Banshees, they dive into the main base looking for even more damage. Oh my god, they almost get a 24th. Back at home, HeRoMaRinE just chilling, making tanks, getting into his 1-1. Finally working on Stim as well. It was delayed in favor of the Banshees. The Banshees alone did game-ending damage. The Cyclone push also did game-ending. We can see that HeRoMaRinE, he is skyrocketing ahead. Over double the worker count, over double the army, or double the army count as well. And 1 push is all it's going to take here from Big Gabe to end things. We do have some disruptors, and I know I always talk up disruptors. I'm like, yo, mate, Geralt, he's down 40 army supply, but he has 2 disruptors, so we're even. Sometimes there's truth to that, sure. But this is more than 40 army supply. This is 80 army supply down. Disruptors are good, but they're not that good. Oh no, not like this! No! The disruptor! The Nova's not going to go off. The first disruptor goes down. And there's just nothing left. There is nothing left. The army stims on forward. The Immortals go down. The Colossi going to be going down as well. Oh my god. We do have a surround. The Colossus did a lot of damage, but it's still just barely not going to be enough. GG gets called, and HeRoMaRinE takes game number 1. GG. His first initial push, just catching Geralt with his pants down. Just wasn't able to keep up with the army movement of Big Gabe. Wasn't able to keep up, and yeah, because that he just wasn't ready to defend and protect his third base. He couldn't hold on to it, and things just very quickly escalated from there. We saw Gerald just being starved out on 2 bases. It took him so much to even break free, and by the time he did break free from his 2-base contain, we had Cloak Banshees and a third base as well. Like, oh my god. HeRoMaRinE, he was just all over it in that first game. Now we're getting to game number 2. Here we go. Look at why pro players don't play something like Phoenix 3-Gate Charge. That is something that they do mix in. Players like Nightmare come to mind. I want to say Classic as well. It's definitely something you can do. It is safer. Don't get me wrong. It is safer to go into Charge instead of Colossus for sure. But typically at the highest level of play, a lot of these players, especially, I mean, I don't blame Gerald at all, especially when there's a bit of a skill disparity. They like to cut corners. They want to be as efficient as possible, cut corners, get into Colossus as quickly as they can, because if they get up to 2-3 Colossi, then they are just in such a powerful position in the game. You could argue that it's risky, but I mean, that's StarCraft. That's it's you know, a game of, in a way, risk management as well. As we are getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. Down in this series, but not out. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have its opponent. We have the German Terran player representing Team Mouse. 1 game away from advancing on to the next round. It is HeRoMaRinE. Again, it's also one of those things where these big committed 2-base pushes that HeRoMaRinE went for in that last game, that hit so early on as well, they aren't too common. Maybe I should have emphasized that a little bit more as well, that HeRoMaRinE, he kind of threw the kitchen sink at Gerald. What was it? 2 Cyclones, a Widowmine, 1 tank, Vanilla Marines. Like, it was a little bit of everything. And 1, of course, Gerald, he didn't see it coming. But 2, it's just like, he just was never even thinking about checking to see it coming either. It just was very unexpected for him. I don't blame him too much for that either. As, yeah, it did catch him off guard at the third base, and things very quickly escalated out of control. But now, we're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 2. And this time, HeRoMaRinE is going for a Rax Expand. Only 1 gas was taken, so a much more economic opener here out of HeRoMaRinE. We can see Gerald just being a little bit annoying, and is going to delay the CC by a little bit. Does force a second SCV down onto the low ground. Not a bad start here for Gerald. It's not the biggest of deals, but, you know, a couple of seconds delayed here on this CC. Behind this, Gerald getting ready as well. We have a shield battery in the main base, just in case Reaper rocks up, and he's going to be sending his first Adept across the map. Marine rocks up and does take down that probe. Our first Zealot has shown up as well. Again, the goal here is to delay the CC. We will force that SCV off the mineral line. More boys are being pulled. Boy, and Gerald has to be careful not to get surrounded as well, as these SCVs are already doing a lot of damage. To be fair, a lot of lost mining time is being dealt here, so this Zealot has become worth it so far. Is still alive, is eventually, no, it's not going to get shut down. Adept rocks up just in time. Oh, the Zealot does go down to some SCVs, but we are going to force another delay here on this CC. This is getting a bit out of hand. Eventually we'll finish this, but it's been just so heavily delayed. Gerald's having a much stronger start here in game 2. Oof. As even the Hellion goes down, the base is finally going to finish up. But what did we kill? We killed 3 Marines, a Hellion, an SCV. Oh, God. Forced a lot of lost mining time as well. Behind this, Gerald's happily going for a Twilight Council opener. Not a Stargate this time. You love to see it. No Phoenix Colossus. Not this game. Not this time. We do have a second gateway as well. This is looking like an I'm curious. Never mind. I was going to say this is looking like an economic opener, but Gerald is setting up a proxy pylon across the map. I think this is a wise choice. I do think that Gerald has a lot of momentum right now, has been forcing a big delay here and just really wreaking havoc in the bases of HeRoMaRinE. So why not just snowball out of control? We have 3 gateways back at home. I'm feeling a 4th gateway across the map. It's going to be 4 gate Blink Stalker out of Gerald. WidowMine drop is going to be intercepted as well. HeRoMaRinE being contained here to his 2 bases. There is that proxy gateway. A lot of aggression is going to be coming out here from Gerald. What do we have at home to defend? We have 1 tank on the way, which will help. Blink isn't quite done, but 1 WidowMine is forced to be dropped. The other is being chased down. Okay, we do have a 3rd Nexus on the way. Interesting. I wonder if that's just for show. I'm curious if we really are going to commit to that. WidowMine is going to burrow. We are going to be able to react. Oh, God, no! Up! Jesus. Not like this. We're still a couple of seconds away. Blink just now finishes once the drop does manage to escape. I'm really curious if we're going to actually commit to this 3rd. It looks like we will. Yeah, we're working on charge. So Gerald had the option to be hyper aggressive with 4 gate Blink Stalkers, but it looks like he's going for more of a middle of the road tactic, just using this to contain. As the mine does come back into the main base to react in time. No reaction! No! Oh, 6 probes go down in the main base at the same time. Geralt is focusing on his push across the map. He does shave off a lot of Marines, but the tanks do siege up. They do force Geralt back. Oh boy. This is, yeah, Geralt taking a lot of damage here. We have potential for the drop to come back in as well. The WidowMine is going to reset. And yeah, Geralt is just containing his opponent. Trying to macro out of this. Charge on the way. See Geralt even falling behind in the worker count, but he should be able to catch up once his 3rd base kicks in. Mine drop comes in once again. This time we do have a reaction. Oh, but the medevac survived. No way. The medevac doesn't survive. It shouldn't. There we go. Medevac goes down. The WidowMine as well. Better reaction here this time out of Geralt, as he does shut down his opponent. Ooh, as HeRoMaRinE throws down 3 more Raxes. Okay, no 3rd CC here from HeRoMaRinE. He's setting up for what looks to be the beginnings of a 2-base all-in. In TvP, you can go for a later 3rd, of course. Definitely, it's in the cards here. But yeah, HeRoMaRinE just focusing so much on just his army production. Tanks, Marauders, Marines on the way. Going to be hitting a strong timing with Stim and +1. Here we go. The push is upon us. This is going to be spotted by Geralt. He's going to try to slow this down. Picks off a Marine. Looking for a medevac or a tank if possible. Even the Raven, that'll be ideal. But for the most part, HeRoMaRinE, he's not slowing down, sending everything across the map. The boys are being pulled. It is a 2-base all-in. So far, Geralt doing a good job of slowing it down. He does catch a wave of SCVs. Oh, he goes for the Raven. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Oh, and he's being caught between a rock and a hard place. The reinforcements do catch some of these Stalkers. Looks like Geralt is going to be able to get out of there. So far, HeRoMaRinE, he is being slowed down, but the tanks are still alive. The Raven as well. Back at home. No shield Uh-oh. No shield batteries. No overcharge. Ay. But we do have a surround being set up, coming in from behind. Geralt, he gets on top of every single one of these tanks. He's going to shut them down, but what about the Marines? It looks like the Zealots may just barely be enough. Yeah, it looks like it will. Geralt with the positioning, with the surround. He won't lose a single probe. Cleans this up. Who needs overcharge? Who needs shield batteries? Nah, mate. Overrated. As we have a second wave. This isn't over yet. Geralt, he still has a little bit... HeRoMaRinE still has a little bit left in the tank. Nah, but it's not going to be enough. The worst has passed. And the tanks go down once again. We still have a couple more Marines trickling on in. I mean, we saw what happened in HeRoMaRinE versus Lambo, where HeRoMaRinE, he was like all in for 10 minutes and he eventually killed Lambo off of 2 bases. So likewise, Gerald, he's got to be careful. He's got to be on top of his warp-ins. Oh, as he is running out of zealots. I would love a shield battery behind this. Come on, just as HeRoMaRinE, he's doing it. He's breaking on through. Once again, getting in range of that third. Ugh. It looks like we might be able to take down the tank once again, but the Marines, there are just so many of them, and there's not enough to buffer here for the army of Gerald. He's running out of units. He's running out of steam. This third base has been broken. It wasn't the first push, but the second, the third push did eventually overcome Gerald. 16 probes go down the entire mineral line. HeRoMaRinE gets cleaned up, but we still have more units where that came from. The rally just doesn't stop. More SCVs are being pulled. Gerald needs to consolidate his forces. No shield batteries at the natural. I can't believe it. I'll be honest. Ugh. HeRoMaRinE is rotating back around. He's looking for a better angle of attack. There we go. Shield battery finally on the way at the third. Jesus, but this is still very close. Like, Gerald doesn't have the best economy anymore after losing that entire mineral line. HeRoMaRinE still has so much map control. Has a tank, massive wave of Marines as well. We are morphing in a couple of Archons. We do have enough energy for a couple of force fields as well. HeRoMaRinE down to 28 SCVs. If he needs to, I guess he can lift up his CC. Gerald, he checks to see if there's a third base. There isn't. Good position for the tank. Decent feedbacks as well. But we don't have high ground vision. The tank is going ham on this army. The stutter steps. We can see Gerald trying to come in from behind. He's going to be able to chase this down for the most part. It was good. It was a good tank positioning, but one Stalker is going to bring it down. Up, up. Oof. Gerald, he's holding. He's holding, but HeRoMaRinE still has a massive supply lead, or an army lead. Ay, ay, ay. Gerald just has to be careful not to be too greedy. Don't take a 4th base. We need more gate. We need to warp in, Poppy. We're going up to 4 bases against a 2-base all-in Terran. He's crazy. Oh god, that may kill him. I'll be honest, this might kill Gerald. Massive Dune Drop is going into the main base. Another double drop head towards the 3rd base as well. Can Gerald keep up? A lot of the army is being rotated over towards the main. A tank siege is up. The production is under threat. Everything is getting depowered. At the same time, we have that double drop into the 3rd. Okay, looks like Gerald is going to be able to protect his 3rd base. But all these gateways being depowered, he can't warp in. Good storm. As HeRoMaRinE, he dives into the natural as well. Another decent storm as well on the Marines. As HeRoMaRinE is just microing his heart out. He's going to get another Archon as well. This is too much. 16 probes do go down. We're getting even more damage done. Pylons are on the way. Again, here, Gerald, sorry, he realizes that he just can't warp in enough units. He doesn't have the production. He's trying to chase us down. HeRoMaRinE with another wave. I think he's done it. I think he's broken through. Even with another warp in. We've just lost 21 probes. No mining here at the 3rd base. The 4th base, forget about it. It's never going to get up and running. Ay, ay, ay. Just like against Lando, you know? HeRoMaRinE, he just won't. The all-in never stops. It never stops, Papi. And with the support of the tank and the Liberator, it looks like, yeah, he's done it. GG gets called. HeRoMaRinE takes the series 2-0. GG. Ay, ay, ay. That's the wrong button. Hold on. GG, well played. Thank you so much. Shout out to Baby Link for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Thank you so much. Hope you had a good time. If you're just tuning in now, we are in the second round of the European qualifier for the Masters Coliseum number 6. HeRoMaRinE just 2-0'd Lambo, and now he just 2-0'd Gerald as well. 2-base all in, it just did not stop, and eventually it got enough damage done. Eventually it snowballed out of control. GG. Well played. Aye. Catching up. Why would he make a fourth? I'm pretty sure Gerald, he just assumed that HeRoMaRinE was transitioning. If you just tuned in, that was like a 15-minute long, like 2-base all in. Like HeRoMaRinE, he pulled the boys twice, and Gerald held twice. So I think he just assumed that HeRoMaRinE would be backing off and expanding, or just giving him some breathing room. As we saw, HeRoMaRinE, no. He just kept on going, kept on pushing, kept on dropping, and eventually he broke through. Gerald cutting a couple too many corners towards the end there, just being a little bit too lax. Did end up getting pulled apart towards the end. GG, well played. Oh. And with that, we're now heading into the next round. We have another opponent ready and waiting. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves to catch up on what has been going on. We'll take a moment to go over it as well. Just setting up for the next series. Just setting up.